Hello, welcome back. Okay, so I'm organised, got all my supplies together. Okay, so we're now going to do some applications and techniques, and I'm just going to explain different ones and different things and what they like, what they do, and all that. So I'm going to use a piece of willow charcoal. Okay, so different techniques for using charcoal to create tone and form in your drawings. Okay, so I'm going to do some charcoal in this box here. Okay, so it's quite shiny. This is paper. This is not artist paper. This is actually a shiny piece of card that I'm using for demonstration. So use a good quality paper. Okay, so the first thing you can use is a blending stump. Okay, so these you can buy tortillions. I call them tortillions. Some people call them torsions, but they're basically paper stumps. So if you undo one of these, it's just rolled up paper. Okay, so you get them in different grades, different sizes, depending on what the details you need for the details. You might want to do the eyes, and you might want to blend the white part of the eye. So that would be good because it's got a tip and it's only a small one, and then there's bigger ones for different areas. So you can see here, look, this one's falling apart, but just wanted to show you that it's just paper. So if one part gets dirty, you can take that part off, and make it cleaner underneath. You can just tear the paper off, tear the layers off. They're quite cheap to buy, so you're not wasting your money. I think you can get them for £1, £2, £3, all sorts. But yeah, so these are a good tool for blending. So I use mine on the side. I'm going to just shade some of this box in so you can see how they blend. So I'm going to do one on here, and I'm also going to do one on a piece of brown paper so you can see both, because it's going to look darker on here. Okay, so that's blended on here. And this is blended onto the brown paper. Okay, so that's one form of blending, using your blending stump. Okay. So another form of blending is just using your fingers. It's very messy. Some people wear gloves. It depends if you like that kind of thing or not. So that's for my fingers. So it's a bit more rustic. So it's not smudged and blended in as much as the paper stump. You've kind of got some rough edges. Okay, this is a bit different because this is a shiny piece of card. It's quite the same. Okay, so that's a good technique. Another good technique is this. It can be a little bit expensive to buy, but it gives fabulous results, and that is a chamois leather. So what you would polish your car with, you can buy this in a big cloth, a big chamois cloth, for about £10, £8, and you can cut it into little tiny pieces. So I normally use a piece like this small and keep it in my pencil case. So I've always got a piece of chamois leather. But it's like velvety, smooth. So that's kind of disappeared on the card there, but I'm going to show you on here. So look, you can transfer it around quite nicely. Okay, so if I get a piece of paper, I'll show you. If you put your finger in there, you can put your finger in it like that. Okay, it's quite a good way to use it. You can transfer it as well. So let's put some down here and show you. So look, if you see, it lifts some of it up, lifts some of it out, but it keeps some on the cloth, so you can use it in different areas. So if you was to do, let's do a circle. Do a circle like this, and then blend this side in. Right, so now I can show you. So it kind of takes some of it off. It does blend, but it's got quite a lot on the cloth. I'll go around the outside as well, just to show you. So there's still a lot here, which you can still keep on the cloth, or you can use it, blend it in. Okay, but this is a good blending. I like that. So that is your chamois leather. I'll keep this out in case we need it. Okay, also I've got a soft bristled brush, so let's try with a soft bristled brush. So you might be drawing a portrait, and you might have like a face, and you might want to just do some little shading under the eye. And you can then choose which part you use, and it will just go to the tip, but this is really soft, this brush. As you can see, that tip of the brush, you're drawing or even painting with it, like dry brushing it. So it's really good for details. Lift a little bit of it up, bring it over here. Lift it up, bring it over here. Okay. So if I was doing, say, an eye, let's just do an eye for you to show you. Okay, so say this is our eye. It's our eye and our eyeball here, just a point here. So to show you, look, so you can just lightly do your little up to strokes. You can, and it also kind of blends the background. It's a bit like a bokeh background if you blend it all in, but it's also good for layering. So you've got like a light layer. You can come back in to darker areas. Shade a bit more out here. Let's go to here and do this part here. Okay, like that. Okay, and then you can come back in again. Make that into an eyelid. Okay, so without actually drawing, just with the charcoal, it gives quite good results. You get like a diffused look. So if I do a line along here, okay, So that is your soft bristled brush, which is really good. So the next one is tissue or cotton pads. Okay, so tissue and cotton pads. So it's quite similar to the chamois leather. I don't use cotton pads because I use reusable cotton pads. So I buy my cotton pads, they're like round ones, and you put them in the washing machine and you wash them and reuse them, and they're fabulous. They're really soft. So I don't use actual cotton pads anymore, but we're going to use just some tissue. This is just toilet tissue. Beauty tissues are a lot smoother than toilet tissue. Because they've got a bit of a rough side on them. This is like textured one. You can get beauty tissues and they're like really smooth. Okay, so that's a tissue. And I also wanted to show you about side strokes. So side strokes are also really good, give good technique. So you can use your charcoal on the side, find an edge. So that's made like 2 lines on that one piece because they're different. Some touch the bottom, some don't. They get different angles. So you can fill a big area really quickly with side strokes. Okay, I'm just going to fill this box in. Okay. So it's a very quick way to block in space. Okay, and then you can then go in if you want to layer over the top. You can diffuse it, blend it in. It depends on how you want your background. So layering is where you build up obviously different layers. Okay, so if I do one layer, I'm going to actually show you. We'll do a layer on here. Okay, and I'm going to do this layer, which I've already done here. Okay, so what you can also do with layers is, this is a kneaded eraser. This is a new one. I just got out the packet. And this lifts out graphite and charcoal. So it doesn't rub it away, but it lifts it off the paper. Okay, so what you want to do is, I always give mine a good mush up like this, a bit like plasticine. Rub it in my hands, get it nice and warm, stretch it, get it nice and warm, and then you can kind of mould it to a point if you want to. It depends on the shape you want to take out. So you can do reductive drawing. So it's like where you remove graphite and charcoal to create light in certain areas. So I can create a line by taking the charcoal off. Okay, so you can blend with it the same way. It will take it off, and you can also lift it out. Okay, so this ball that we did earlier here, I want to now, that highlight, I want to take that highlight out. So I'm going to press it down and just lift it. Okay, if I wanted to put a highlight on the side, see, I can lift it out. If I want to put a highlight in the eye, I'm going to create a shape. Okay, so I'm going to, where that dark bit is there, I'm going to lift it out. Okay, so you can actually draw with a putty rubber, and you can layer. So by taking this out, I'm going to take this eyelid out here, put a bit of shadow here. Okay, I now can layer back over the top with my charcoal. Now I want to make this a bit darker now, so let's make this bit a bit darker. Okay, and I think I want to blend it in, so I'm now going to use my paper stump, blend it a bit more. Okay, I'm going to add some eyelashes just to make it look a bit more 3D. Okay, and then I want to put some spaces in between the eyelashes now. I'm just taking some out with the putty rubber. So there's lots of different things you can do, but with layering there's no limit as to how much you lift off and take out. It's until you're ready, until you get a finished effect that you like. So now I might go, okay, I'm just gonna, don't like my eyelashes, so I'm now going to make them darker. So let's use my paintbrush. Okay, and now blend this in a little bit and come under the eye with a bit. I'm going to borrow some from up there and I'm going to use it underneath. Okay, and now I'm going to, I think I'll put a little line underneath here. Okay, so that just shows you different ways of layering and different ways you can use all of your techniques. Okay, so that's really good. The side stroke's really good, and you also can apply a wet wash over the top of charcoal as well, a bit like watercolour. So you can add water to it. You can wet it and you can add it over the top, which I don't think I've got a water spray. Let's have a look. So excuse me a second, let me just see what I've got. I have a water bottle, a water pen, so let's try that instead. Okay, so squeeze it and get it up and running. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is a water brush. So you can see that's my water brush. So if I go to the big piece, which is here, just put some water so you can see it. Okay, so there's the water. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this with some water. So then you can kind of use it as like a painting technique. So it's very similar to watercolour. You can actually layer it. So it creates like soft transitions between your charcoal layers. Okay, so that I'm now going to come under here and it will dry. So make sure you have good paper. Don't use rubbish paper like me. I use this shiny paper for demonstrations because I have quite a lot of it, so it makes sense to use it and use it for demonstrations for video purposes, but I wouldn't use it in general. So yeah, as you can see there what you've got. So that is your techniques. Okay, so I think what we do now is, if you do a value scale, this is very good practice for charcoal pencils and charcoal sticks like willow and compressed charcoal, to just show different grades and what they look like on paper. Okay, so if we do a medium charcoal, this is a medium charcoal pencil, so this is medium. Just going to go both ways. Okay, so that's medium. Just going to put here medium. So I'm now going to press a bit harder. Okay, so if you do a value scale of all your pencils, let's just get this up here so I can show you, because you'll be able to see easier on paper. So okay, so this is medium. So I'm going to press a bit harder on the medium. Put them in there for medium. Okay, so I've got two grades there, light and dark. Okay, so now I'm going to use a darker pencil. So let's go to dark. Now this is just using it lightly. So you can see the lightness of the dark one is as dark as what the medium one is, pressing harder. So this is going to be pressing harder on this one. Okay, so that's your two there. So you can do the same with willow. Do a light box and then do a dark box. Yeah, and your charcoal stick. So this one is light. Charcoal stick, which is light. Okay, pressing a little bit harder. Okay, so just go through and do some different value scales and colour swatches, and just learn what all your techniques and all your charcoal things, what they look like on paper, and use different papers, because different papers, by showing you this value scale here, different papers behave differently, you know. So try them all out. Look, the charcoal pencils here are grey, but here they're really dark. So there's a little rundown for you on tips and techniques, and I will see you in the next video where we'll learn to paint to draw wings and feathers. Okay, have fun. Thank you.